Hi Capricorns, welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It is time for reading. I've shuffled these cards very well. It's a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be the center card in the first part of the reading. So Capricorns, let's get started. Let's find out what can you expect coming up in your life. Capricorns, what can you expect coming up in your life? That one. Okay, let's see what we have here. In the order they came out. For Capricorns. Capricorns. So we have extra cards for the next part of your reading. We have 2 extra cards for the second part of your reading. So the overall energy, Capricorn, of your reading is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is the energy. It's like an ostrich putting its head in the sand, like not dealing with the situation when you know it exists and hoping that it resolves itself without dealing with it. So it's in order to protect your heart. Your arms are across your heart. Your swords are up in self-protection. Your blindfold's on. It's like, maybe if you just don't, if you pretend it's not there, it'll just work itself out. That surrounds your entire reading. Up here in your highest energy is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, this is a sincere love offer. This is, coming in to see that cup that has lots of room for love. So what are you trying to avoid here? Maybe you are just protecting your heart against this offer. Maybe you're afraid to get involved with somebody right now. You might be a little bit vulnerable right now. And that's kind of how it's feeling at the moment. But there is somebody who would like to take you out or get to know you better. I feel like they're going to want your phone number. I feel like there's going to be communication between you and them. And I think this might be your comfort point for the time being in this relationship. This is the Eight of Wands, the card for communication through texts, emails, video chat, phone calls, something through the airways. So I think this is your way of keeping distance and getting to know this other person and developing a trust for them. I have the Ace of Pentacles right next to the Eight of Wands. Now, this is up here in your highest energy line. Pentacles are about security, stability, groundedness. It's a card of commitment. And so, yeah, you're really trying to figure out, are they really sincere? Are they available? Are they willing to commit if it comes down to that, down the road? So your heart's been broken before. There's no doubt about it looking at this reading. And the communication is what you really need to decide, whether to accept this love offer, this cup of love. I have the Four of Wands under the Knight of Cups. This is a soulmate, very strong soulmate energy. There is a strong connection between you and this person who's offering this cup of love. This is union between two people. There's a lot of love and joy associated with this card, and it can be a card of marriage. So I feel like whoever's coming in with this offer, they're actually looking for somebody to marry. They're looking for the right person to spend the rest of their life with. And you, on the other hand, are guarded. You're like, I don't know, I'm not going to just jump into anything, You're really wondering if they are really the Page of Cups, not the Knight of Cups. So this is what you're trying to figure out through all this conversation. I have the Page of Cups next to the Two of Swords and right under the Ace of Pentacles. So you probably received this type of love before. There's a fish in a cup. It's a tainted cup of love. It's like half full, type love offer. It's immature. It's very young energy. And I feel like this is what you're what you're up against in blocking your heart, having your arms across your heart and your swords up in the air. So, yeah, you don't want to delve into this relationship right away. You want to get to know them through conversation. Under the Four of Wands, I have the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is about something that's brewing from the bottom of your feet, and it will come out your mouth. It's about a fresh start and a new beginning. They're offering you this. They really want to get to know you better. There is something that you need to say, something you need to get out in the open. It's all about this conversation. So you need to know you have questions and you need answers to your questions before moving forward. Yes, there's a strong connection, but you still need your answers before you can move forward with them. I have the 5 of Swords right under the 2 of Swords and right next to the Page of Wands. The 5 of Swords is about picking up those swords of truth and clarity, and it comes through all this conversation and you speaking out and actually letting your fears. I think these images here that are walking off in the background, it's kind of letting go of these energies from your past. So they're probably prior relationships that were the Page of Cups, didn't work out. And so as long as you can pick up these swords of truth and clarity, and there's still more here that can be picked up, the more you can let your past fade off into the distance. It's like, ugh. So here I have Temperance. Right next to the 5 of Swords and right under the Page of Cups. Temperance, this is your guardian angels and spirit guides. They're all around you, and their job, mixing this potion back and forth, is to help you be tempered. That means pulling the one foot out of those waters of emotion, putting it on the ground with the other foot so you can be grounded. They want you balanced, and they want you to go ahead and be patient. Use your patience. Ask for patience, because that's what you need. It's very obvious here. You're definitely, if the Fool card shows up, I'd be very, very surprised, but I have to see what's around it. But I just feel like you're very conservative about moving into another relationship at this point. But there's an offer coming in, and it is a very strong soulmate. So communicate. They actually do have a pentacle. They are grounded. They have a job. They probably have an apartment. They're probably very mature-minded type person. And then I have those 2 extra cards. Put them right here. So we have the 7 of Pentacles right next to the Ace of Pentacles. These other relationships you have really waited. And you've waited for the right person to come along that you can spend the rest of your life with. The 7 of Pentacles is about waiting and waiting, putting your hopes and your prayers into relationships, hoping that they actually blossom and bloom. Well, that staff there is just holding you up here. You're really tired of waiting. So this is kind of how they find you. When they come in with this offer, you're tired of waiting, and it's causing you to be much more careful with who you move forward with. I have the Page of Swords right next to the 7 of Pentacles. Page of Swords, you got your sword up. You're not swinging it, but you're very, very cautious. Your ears are open, your eyes are open, you're noticing anything that's said and done around you. And if you have to swing that sword, you will. You will. And you're going to decide through all this conversation whether you want to go ahead and accept that cup that's going to be offered to you. This Page of Swords is right next to the 9 of Cups. So, in a lot of readings, they call this the Wish Come True card. But, I'm reading this card as if you have a lot of love that you have just put on the back burner. Okay? And you're guarding that love. And that's exactly what you're doing with the Page of Swords here. You're guarding that love, and you're trying to be very careful before you hand it out, because you don't want to have to go through a breakup or find out you've chosen the wrong cup. So next to the Page of Cups and under the 7 of Pentacles is the Queen of Cups. So this is, all cards are male or female. This is water, so this would be Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer that might be strong in your chart or someone else's. That's 2 for Pisces if we're counting. But the energy of this card, look at all the swirly emotions. You're still like getting over past relationships. You still kind of have this emotional spot inside of you. And this is the only cup in the whole deck that has a window, little windows all the way around it. And what you're trying to do is peek in those windows to get answers to love questions, because that cup is full of answers. So this is like where your mind is as far as love goes. Okay, you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out how are you going to know, who is right for you, who is wrong for you. You might even be trying to figure out how you have been involved with immature love energies that don't amount to anything before. And then next to the Queen of Cups, the Two of Pentacles. And that's right below the Page of Swords. So there's confusion here. And that's what the Queen of Cups, it usually involves confusion. Why aren't your relationships amounting to commitment? Why isn't the commitment lasting if it does amount to commitment? Because Pentacles are about security and stability. And it feels like you've been kind of on this roller coaster ride in your relationships. So you're confused. You're very guarded against who you do let come close to you. I have the Three of Pentacles next to the Two of Pentacles and right under the Nine of Cups. So the Two of Pentacles, this is a black card, as you can see. Three Pentacles, that's security, stability, groundedness. But there's a problem in this card. There's like extra energies that shouldn't be there for two people to be committed, move forward. This card is about butting heads, about commitment, about how to move forward, about how you're seeing your future, whether it's together or apart. And this is part of your confusion. You're trying to be smarter, not harder, okay? And that's why the Queen of Cups is here. So then I have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is under the Queen of Cups and next to Temperance. Temperance is saying, be patient, because this Pentacle that you've been waiting for here with the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving energy in the whole deck, it's coming in. It's finally coming in. And they want you to be grounded so you can make informed decisions. They want you to be balanced. And they want you to be patient for this to all come together. The Pentacle, this is up in your highest energy, and here it is coming in, like finally, and it's right below the Queen of Cups, part of, your confusion about the relationships that you've had in the past. Here you are, right next to the Knight of Pentacles, under the Two of Pentacles, with the Two of Wands. Now this is holding on to that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings with one hand and holding the world in the other hand. You're alone, you're standing there, you're looking out over the world, and you're wondering, what is your future going to look like? Are they out there? Or is there a new life cycle for you coming in? Well, this is what's going to happen. I have the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is below the Three of Pentacles, next to the Two of Wands. This is another soulmate card. And this card is about being friends with love. See, those cups can hold a lot of love. And soulmates. So I think first you are going to become friends with this person before you will let your love off those shelves and hand them out. And also, all this communication, you're going to, like I say, become friends, or you already know this person as a friend, and you're going to become closer. Notice there's two people in this card, there's three people in this card. I don't think they have anything or anybody that's interfering with this relationship. I don't think there's a lot of bickering. I don't think this is a dark energy at all. Because of where it's placed. Sometimes this Two of Cups can be friends with benefits. Perhaps you've had other relationships, is why it's connected to that Three of Pentacles that ended up being friends with benefits. But not this relationship. This new one coming in, you are just very cautious, very on guard before moving forward, and you want to get to know them really well before you accept that cup of love. Okay, guardian angels and spirit guides. Let's find out what they have message that they might have for you. Guardian angels and spirit guides, a message here. One more shuffle. So, okay. Capricorns. Find out what your guardian angels and spirit guides have for you here, what they want to say. Messenger of emotion. That's the name of the card. I'm going to read it to you, but you can pause and read this anytime you want. Messenger of emotion. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience that could grow into something deeper. You may receive a message expressing feelings that you didn't even know were developing. A social invitation could soon be on its way to you. There's a person involved who's very gentle and loving with only the kindest of intentions. Very serious intentions. It could be you. Oh, especially if you're artistic, shy, and sensitive. Well, I think this is the other person that's coming in with the best of intentions. I think you're on guard about it. And I think that you will see that they do have the best intentions for this relationship. So that's your message from your guardian angels and spirit guides. Now, let's pull out a universe card, a law of attraction card. Let's see what shows up here for Capricorns. 5 for Capricorns. Let's see what shows up. Oh, I've got to read these 2 cards. Okay, I had the 4 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. This is just you not reaching out for this offer that comes straight in. This is you feeling bound by truth and by clarity. All these swords all around you. You're still blindfolded, like with the 2 of Swords. And you're staying kind of trapped in this place of not wanting to move forward until you get enough information from the person who's offering this cup of love to move forward with them. So that's all this is about, is your energy as far as when that offer first comes in. That's all that's about. So let's cut this deck here from the universe. Let's see what they have to say. Capricorns. The law of attraction. Treat imagination as reality. Wow, I like that. Now I'm going to turn it around. You can pause and read this anytime you want, but I'm going to read it to you. The universe, which is responding to the thoughts you are thinking, does not distinguish between a thought from your observation of some observed reality and a thought brought about by your imagination. In either case, the thought equals your point of attraction. And if you focus upon it long enough, it will become your reality. So focus on what you want. You know, that's basically what these law of attraction cards boil down to. Focus on what you want, and it will manifest. This is your reading for Capricorns. Thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.